Okay, can you tell us about when you first met Tony?
I first met Tony on the ICI in Runcorn. His Uncle Larry was the foreman on the site, and I think he got Tony a job, and we sort of got to know one another because for years we'd only lived about 200 yards away from one another, and we really didn't mix in the same circles at that time. But because we were getting picked up in the coach together and stuff like that, we sort of got on and we sort of met, and it was probably for about 12 months or 18 months. It was just basically a work thing, and then over a period of time we used to go to, there was a little betting office at the bottom of, just off Vauxhall Road really, and he liked to bet and I liked to bet, and we used to get locked in there on a Thursday night with our wages and listen and have a bet on the night racing and stuff like that. And we sort of formed a stronger friendship then going on, and with working in the same company we just started meeting one another on more and more jobs, till eventually we both ended up on Stanlow in Ellesmere Port. A lad called Jimmy Rowson was there. I think Jimmy was there, but the foreman was a lad called Jimmy Hardman, and a lad called Timmy Carr, Harry Saxton. They were all there, and a mate that we struck up with again, I don't think any of the others had talked about probably, is a lad called Tommy Teaney. And the trade, we were all round about the same age. I think Tommy was slightly older, and we started more or less knocking around together on a Friday night, not other nights. It was just, well, you're having a drink this Friday, and we used to knock around with Tommy for a while. And one of the funniest things, Tommy couldn't drink pints. He could only ever drink shorts, Tommy. And we were in the Jester one night, and one thing about Tommy was he was always very immaculate dressed. And he was going to a party somewhere, I'm not sure whether it was down Stanley Road or something. And he said, you can't come because you're not invited. And I think we gate crashed it and got chased down the entry eating chicken, if I can remember. They all found out that we weren't invited, and I think we robbed the chicken on the way out or something, or a turkey, vaguely remember that, and we all got chased out, and Tommy included, I think. But Tommy was on Stanlow, he was a scaffolder with us as well, and that was part of that scaffolding part of it really. And I think they were the only two jobs I actually worked with Tony. But we carried on the friendship obviously because he come Sandra and mine, our best man. And one of the notable things about Tony is that he always, I think the show on television probably summed him up the best as I Want to Be a Millionaire or something like that. Because he always had this thing is that I suppose Del Boy invented the saying, this time next year I'll be a millionaire, because he always had something in his brain, whether it was a little invention for this or I can improve that, but never seemed to go right somehow for some reason or other. One of the greatest things I always remember, and I still tell the same story, not only to you but to other people, he used to have a little Hillman. And on the way back from Stanlow one day, it broke down. I don't know if you know the bypass in Rock Ferry. It's about 4 miles long, and it broke down at the beginning of it. And 3 of us pushed it the whole 4 mile. We managed to get it to a garage, and the fellow went, your starter motor's gone. All you've got to do, if it goes, is just hit it. And it'll unblock it now and then, but it doesn't always work. But Tony only listened to him. He didn't know what a starter motor was, and neither did we, by the way. And I think about 4 or 5 days later it stopped again.